Today we will be comparing two switches that are very far apart in price, but they look really similar. We have the GATERON All Kings and the JWICK R2s. The GATERON All Kings cost 2.5 times more than the JWICK R2s, but they look oddly similar. And for those of you who are watching Odd Switch for the first time, this is a series that I'm doing where I compare switches that look oddly similar but are very different in prices. And before we continue with our video today, as per usual, our sponsor for the video of today is PCBWay. Today's video is sponsored by PCBWay. PCBWay provides services for the creation of PCBs and fabrication. You can print PCBs as the name suggests, you can print advanced PCBs, standard PCBs, even flexible PCBs. So it might not be keyword related, it can be related to a science project that you're doing. At the same time, they provide services for 3D printing as well. So you can print all kinds of random stuff like an artisan keycap case. It's really simple. Upload the file and you're done. And if you don't have any keycaps, then go print a keycap. So if you're a first timer, use the link in the description down below and sign up to get a $5 off or a free first prototype order. So if you guys are interested, go and check them out. It's pretty cool. Alright, today's switches are relatively new. These switches actually just got released about like a few months ago. These switches were sent over by K.Tex. They sponsor my Cry Talks as well. You can go check them out. They sell all kinds of accessories, keyboard accessories, lube, switches, some keycaps. Go check them out. Alright, let's begin with the JWICK R2s. These are being priced at $2.50 for 10 switches. And at the minimum, you would get 70 switches and that would cost about $17.50. That is really cheap, by the way. That's way cheaper than Echo switches as well. As for our other contestant, the GATERON All Kings, being priced at $6.50 for 10 switches. For 70 switches, you would be paying $45.50. The GATERON All Kings are a good 2.5 times more expensive than the JWICK R2s. So let's start off by learning more about the materials and features that each switch has. Beginning with our JWICK R2s, JWICK switches are mass produced by JWK. These switches are extremely well known, such as the JWICK Yellow, really popular in the budget side of keyboards. The main difference between the R1 and the R2 is the addition of the JWICK logo as well as a nylon top housing. So the JWICK Black R2s are a linear switch with a nylon housing with a palm stem and a 63.5 gram spring and is factory lubed. As for our GATERON All Kings, they have been rising in popularity ever since YouTubers have been reviewing them. This is one of the most latest switches that GATERON has released with a black opaque housing and an amazing factory lube job. The GATERON All Kings are also a linear switch with a palm stem and a nylon top housing. The difference is that they use an ink bottom housing with a 55 gram actuation force and a 20mm spring. So these are actually really similar. So let's dive deeper into it, open up the switches and take a look at the individual parts. Beginning with our top housing, they are both made from nylon. I'm guessing they both use different materials of nylon. And aside from that, there's actually not much difference. As for our stem, similar, both are made from a palm material. The main difference I can tell is that the All King pole is actually much thicker compared to the JWICK R2s. As for our springs, you can clearly see the 20mm spring being much longer compared to what the JWICK has. This longer spring will definitely cause a different feel and different sound when typing. Also, it's painted like black, pretty cool. And finally, we have our bottom housing, JWICK with their nylon bottom housing and ink housing for the All Kings. Both of them are 5-pin switches and honestly, I cannot tell a difference aside from the material. It's pretty insane. Okay, so now that we roughly know the main differences of the specs and features and materials that they used, we can do a stem wobble test. This is actually surprising because I felt the GATERON All Kings had a little more wobble compared to the JWICK R2s. The JWICK R2s are actually pretty tight. And now for the moment of truth, we're gonna run some sound tests of a looped and unlooped switch for both variants. And finally, we're gonna do a final typing test of both the switches looped in a KBD67 Lite R3. If you're interested, R4 is gonna be coming out in an opaque case because that looks cooler. I'm gonna get one soon too. So yeah, listen to this. Alright, so we have come to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new about these switches, and if you were deciding between the two somehow, then I hope you know which one you want. Personally, if I had a choice and finance wasn't a problem, I would definitely go with the GATERON All Kings. The All Kings feel really premium to type on. Even though they have a lighter actuation force compared to JWICK R2s, the GATERON All Kings just have a more snappy return and makes it much more comfortable when you're typing compared to the JWICKs. And aside from that, even though having most of the same materials, the GATERON All Kings actually sound better compared to JWICK R2s. It just... yeah. So yeah, if you guys are free, you can click the subscribe button. It is also free to do it. You do not have to pay money to subscribe to a channel. And you can also like the video to help me with the algorithm and comment some other ideas you have for switches that look similar. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.